That's him. Hey guy, what's your name? What's your question?
My name's Joe, and I've been watching kaiju films and giant robots all my life, so thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
My question is, will we be seeing such iconic giant robot weapons such as drills and rocket punches?
You know, we have rocket punches.
You just totally made that guy's con.
Yeah, we have rocket punches.
You just totally made that guy's con. Do you know how long he had to wait to be first in line? It's like, please rocket punches, please rocket punches.
Yeah, rocket punches and no drills, but we have amazing melee weapons, amazing close contact weapons, and some artillery. So, you know, expect absolutely obscene robot porn and robot on kaiju action.
Thank you. Was that it? Or was there another part to?
He went away.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw the blue. Take it down a notch, Hall H. I turn around. I see blue. I see a katana. Please. Guy who is clearly not the other guy. What is your question?
First of all, I would like to thank all of you for bringing this concept to reality. My question is, will there be many different kinds of kaiju with different unique abilities, or are we just seeing the same type of kaiju rehashed over and over?
So his question is,
yes, of course.
His question is, there aren't going to be robot punches, are there?
Oh yeah. Let me tell you this: we have approximately 9 kaijus. What? And we have 6 or 7 robots, and each of them has a unique ability, and each of them is distinguished. We designed about 40 kaijus, and we did an American Idol on them. At the design room, we would do a pageant and show them, and then everybody would vote. We would get into heated discussions. Punches were thrown, and the better kaijus are the ones that are in the movie, the ones that won. And trust me, one of the things we do is every time you think you saw a kaiju do what it does, something else happens.
Yeah, our bank account can attest to the fact that he wanted so many different things.
Thank you for your question. Next question.
Guillermo.
Yes, my friend.
I'm just hoping that when one of the pilots opens the mini freezer in the giant robot, we see the return of the Takata light. And just, you gotta represent, man.
Thank you, my friend. Well, I think that what we do with these creatures and robots is everybody involved got a passion for one aspect of them, and we all went and fought for it. And I think that ultimately anything you guys can imagine there being represented will be there. But I think that it's important also to tell you that there are some set pieces in here that I don't think have ever been seen on film. So everything will be there.
I have a question for some of the actors. Anyone can jump in, either of the Charlies or Ron. When you're working with Guillermo, and there's a lot of stuff obviously that you don't know exactly what's happening. I mean, you're literally just like, leap of faith, you just tell me what to do. So what is it like to work with Guillermo on something like this when you can't visualize everything up top?
Well, not even visualizing it, I actually, when I signed on to do this, which I think is probably the case with all of us, I didn't even read a script. There wasn't even a script. I signed on sight unseen, which I wouldn't really, there are probably 2 filmmakers in the world, Guillermo being one of them, that I would take that leap of faith with. But it was extraordinary working with Guillermo. I mean, he is a slave driver. I have never worked so hard in my life, but it's extraordinary because however hard I was working, he was always working twice as hard. So it was a really joyous, fun, hard, ass-kicking, you know, wonderful experience.
Have you guys seen any of the footage yet before?
That was the first piece I've seen. I was in APR for a couple of weeks with Guillermo, and we saw little pieces, but that was the first edited footage I'd seen.
Oh wow!
Looks pretty good, huh?
What is your name in question?
My name is Abby, and before my question, I just want to say Guillermo and Ron Perlman, I've seen the Hellboy movies, and I'm a very big fan. I love them, and
Thank you.
my question is, Guillermo, you mentioned about how there's two men controlling the different hemispheres of the brain. So my question is, what would happen if there's only one man to control? Because would he, like, you know, have his brains turn to mush? Would he grow up, or something else?
Well, that is actually answered in the film, and I think that we wanted to show what happens when it's a single pilot and what happens to that pilot. So we have two of the characters drove by Jaeger solo when the partner died. Normally, when the kaiju gets the cockpit, he gets both pilots. So if a kaiju leaves one pilot alive and that pilot is able to drive the Jaeger to safety, it's a big ordeal, and we show it. So you will see it.
If you lose the left brain, the robot just starts doing pottery. Like crafts. Robot pottery wheel. What is your name in question, sir?
I'm Vance, and I just want to say, Guillermo and Ron, it's really great to finally meet you guys. And Ron, I was really rooting for you to get the role of Bjorn in The Hobbit. My question is just for Guillermo. From Hellboy 2 and Pan's Labyrinth, we've seen how much you like costumes and physical effects, and seen a movie that looks so heavy in CGI. I was just wondering what some of the challenges you encountered were.
Well, what I try is to not represent CG, even on movies that have it, like Hellboy 2. Pan's Labyrinth has plenty of CG, but we don't treat it. We actually treat it as we would treat any other element in the film. If you saw even in this footage, I tried to dirty the camera. I tried to have it be hit with oil and water and shake, and in some instances we add scratches to the lens of the camera. The camera is unable to clear the whole height of the Jaeger or the whole height of the kaiju. We are trying to see the kaiju, but it's so big that you don't see it. I try to root them in a place, an atmosphere that has elements like rain, snow, mud, so that the creatures become real. And the other thing you do is you approach it from the purity of animation. You approach it like Harryhausen would approach stop motion. You don't approach it, one of the things we were very clear about is no fucking motion capture. And we didn't want to do it, it was all keyframed, and it was because I don't want the robots moving just like human beings. I needed the robots to really move with a sense of a shock absorber, a joint, a gear moving. So it's using that, and for the monsters is the same. When we have every talk we have with the animators is if the monster is just doing this, I go, what is the monster doing? Why is he not attacking the robot? Why is he posing for a photo? You know, we say, you know, it's like in martial arts movies where all the guys are moving around, 18 guys and one guy kicks their ass because 17 are doing this. You know? So it's a kind of a fuck that shit situation. And then the monster needs to have personality. So we are trying to make a monster intelligent and evil, another brutish, another one, you know, you talk to the animators like you would talk to animators doing stop motion or 2D. You treat the resources with respect. You don't take CG as a thing that will save work. You take it as a thing that will necessitate 10 times more work to come alive. And you demand it of the people doing it, and you demand it of yourself. Now, that said, we did a shitload of physical stuff in the movie. Like when we built the streets and we rigged the streets with hydraulic systems, so when a monster is walking, the pavement isn't rigged to bounce, and blocks of pavement bounce and cars bounce and buildings bounce that are, you may think, oh, that's CG. It wasn't. We're shaking the entire set. So, you know, there's a lot of physicals involved.
All right, I think we have time for one more question. Hey, how's it going? What's your name?
Vince.
Hey man, what's your question?
Will you have any monsters, sea monsters that are like common, like a Leviathan or something?
Monsters, sea monsters, you got it, man. Check. 3. How about that? We have flying monsters, we have sea monsters, we have, you come, and there's monsters that are gonna be, we have monsters of the wazoo. A Mexican word, wazoo.
Was there it almost looked like there was a second part to your question. Was there a second part?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you'll have like any common monsters, like one from a legend, like...
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Just wrong.
Just wrong problem. We done. Every character we created was created specifically for the movie. What we did do, both with the monsters and the robots, and you may get a kick out of this, is we designed them from the inside out. So like a kid, as a kid I used to draw the anatomy of the kaiju and the monsters and go all the way out, and the joints and gears and levers of the robot all the way out. So we designed them like that, to feel like physical entities that have real bones, weight, muscles. And we're trying stuff in the animation of the monsters that I haven't seen in any other monster movie before. So, you know, we have a great company doing it, ILM, and the animators are truly passionate about this because they are having a great time. I mean, they come to work wanting to do monsters with us. And that's a lot of fun, my friend.
All right, thank you so much, Vance. All right, so Pacific Rim opens slightly less than a year from today, July 13th, 2013. Please help me in thanking Guillermo del Toro.